let's look at an Alzheimer and Parkinson stock. First off, read this disclaimer carefully, and like, sub, share, and comment to gain full access. Okay, here we have the Alzheimer's portfolio. You can see that the average performance is very significantly outperforming the market. In this video, we will look at Anavex Life Sciences. They give you exposure both to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. These are some of the diseases in the central nervous system that affects most people, especially Alzheimer's. It's a huge issue, and that basically means that there's a lot of people who want to see money poured into a cure, and at least better medicines. Hence, there's very, very high demand for solutions. Okay, so this is the company's website, Anavex Life Sciences, targeting central nervous system disorders, utilizing genomic biomarkers in precision medicine to treat severe neurological disorders. One of the reasons why we could see a big spike in stocks that give you exposure to solutions to Alzheimer's, that is because of the most likely incoming president being Mr. Biden. So here is my theory. There's very good reason to think that there's something wrong with him. Possibly he has this disease in earlier stages. If he becomes president, most likely he will be, and then it becomes public that he has the condition and that he has to step back, and Kamala Harris will then become president. That will create huge attention around this disorder, which is something that this disorder is already something that in front of mind for a lot of people, but it would just become even more salient, and that could create a big spike in the stocks, big time. This is of course hypothetical that it will become a public thing and it will be widespread awareness. But the thing is that I am hearing from people that know Biden that this is a concern. It will very likely become a topic. Okay. So let's look at the about page. So Anavex utilizes, they basically say the same things they said on the front page. A decent website, but I would like to see it a bit redesigned. It's a bit amateurish, like huge titles here, but then the logo is small. I mean, it's a bit messy, but all in all, decent. The reason why I also look at their websites is because this is one of the key ways they are marketing themselves. Okay, so here's the seasonality of the stock. The reason why considering buying some Anavex now is very interesting is because December is a very weak month, meaning this is the percentage of months in which it closes higher than it opened. However, January, February, and March are some of the strongest months for Anavex. Hence, seasonality is definitively bullish. Okay, now let's look at the charts. So here's the weekly data points, and we get the big picture. Okay, so it's been through a lot of things, for sure. It's been through a nasty bear market here. Then you got a rounding bottom, which is one of my favorite technical patterns. Then you get a spike of a whopping almost 2,000%. In other words, this stock has a history of successful rounding bottoms. What is happening right here, right now? We have a rounding bottom, a long rounding bottom. This looks a lot like a capitulation low, and it's been progressing nicely with pullbacks every now and then, and we recently have had a bit of a euphoria and a pullback. Hence, from a charting perspective, this isn't that bad of a time to consider this stock. You see here that there's a 74% positive correlation here with the S&P 500. Let's look here at the daily data points. Here we can see, that the rounding bottom, it's taken a lot of time to develop. So let's do some rough measurement. from here. You could, of course, argue to go further back, but 1,353 days. So this is a very long-term pattern, and it's been developing very, very nicely with frequent pullbacks. This definitively is one of those stocks that you want to buy on a dip, to enter a long position. The accumulation distribution it's a bit weaker than I would like to see. I would like to see it pick up a bit, which means that the recent volume, it's been, I would like to see it higher, so that there is some bearish divergence between price here and volume. There's a 47% positive correlation on the daily data points. Okay, let's now look at the fundamentals. So here you can see Finviz. They have a nice chart here as well. You see, we find support here on the trend line rally. That's bullish. Here you can see the performance. Year to date, 93%. Definitively a very good move. When we look at the recent Analyst price targets, so the one here from this year, it's $12. From the current price to $12, that suggests an upside of 131%, definitively bullish. When we go to Saks.com, number 3 hold, F value score, degrowth, and F momentum. The industry rank here is bottom 17%. So you could certainly make the case here that as far as Saks goes, not that bullish. No dividend. It is a small company, only $301 million in market cap. So this is definitively speculative for sure. Okay. So to sum up my take here on, this company, Anavex. When we look at the theme Alzheimer's, I am very bullish long term. This is a huge public health issue. And there are some reasons to suspect that it could get a lot of attention relatively soon. That is related to Biden. There's been a lot of talk about his cognitive health. And as you can probably imagine yourself, if he steps down because of this, okay? Just imagine what will happen to these kinds of stocks. We will see a big move. And even if that were not to happen, this is still one of those major public health issues that gets continuing focus because we have an aging population. Hence, more and more people do die with this condition. So the theme is very bullish. When we looked at the charts, I'm bullish on Anavex. Looking at the seasonality, that was bullish. December is a weak month, but that also means that potentially one of the best times to buy Anavex would be during December. That is where you could get that low. Looking at the fundamentals, it was a bit of a mixed message because the Analyst price targets was certainly bullish. They have a Ladenburg Thalmann have a price target here of $12. And even if we go way back in time here, to 2016, 2017, we do have these higher certainly price targets that are above the current price, $5.19. Saks was the one that they were not really feeling the love here for the company. Hence, there is a little bit of a mixed message, but when you take the average of all the data we have looked through, there's more reasons to be bullish than bearish. Hence, very interesting stuff. Whatever you do, of course, you want to be as market neutral as possible in this market.